Da-dum-dum, da-da. Oh, wait a minute, I haven't done that bit yet. Hi everyone and welcome back to the Colour Cave, where we like to play with art stuff. My name is Jem and I have some updates for you today. The first and most obvious one is we have some intro music. I have had the fortune to work with a very nice gentleman called Chris Small, who has put together a lovely little jingle for me, and I know it's working because Mr. Jem keeps whistling it round the house. Anyway, I just wanted to have a little bit of a chatty video. I've got quite a few updates for you, and rather than drip feed them throughout social media and various videos, I just wanted everything all in one place. So first of all, in regards to the intro music, I did say to Chris I would give him a shout out. Hi Chris, thanks again for your help. And all his credentials and how you can contact him will be in the description of every single video from now on. So if you require musical services of any description, I would highly recommend him, and he's so easy to work with. And even though I got to the point I was being a bit of a diva, he was really helpful and really willing to work with me. So thanks again Chris, much appreciated, and I hope you all enjoy the cheery little jingle that's now going to accompany all of the Colour Cave videos. The next thing, oh here she comes, hi Pip. I knew this was going to happen. The next thing I wanted to talk about was the actual videos on the channel. Can you not get comfortable, little one? What's wrong? We are now at the stage where there's 150 odd videos, and I've decided just to do a little bit of shuffling about, hopefully so that people will be able to utilise the playlists just for the things that they want. I've had an overwhelming response for the scroller box videos, and they do already have their own playlist, but also the number of people that like just the chatty videos. So there is now going to be a separate playlist just for colour and chat videos, and eventually for the draw and chat videos too. So if you are one of those people who just likes to have me on in the background while you go about your daily business, there's specific playlists just for you now. I've split the colouring videos up a little bit further. I have a separate playlist now that is just for tutorials. So if you are looking for something in particular where you want to learn a specific skill, or you are maybe trying to recommend a video to someone in one of the social groups, then you can send them to that playlist and they can look through themselves. The Colouring for Beginners playlist is just staying as it is. I'm also going to have a final separate playlist just for updates. So this video will go into the new playlist for updates. So if you think you've missed a trick somewhere, you can go back and look through those on a separate playlist as well. So it's just going to make everything a little bit easier to find as the number of videos continues to grow and grow and grow and grow. The next thing that I'm quite excited about is the community tab has now popped up on our channel, which I wasn't aware that we were getting. Previously it was only for channels that had 10,000 subscribers or more, and they have reduced that down to channels with 1,000 subscribers or more. So we are now able to have this community tab to use, and if you head on over there, you'll be able to see that I've already posted something up, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that community tab in a minute. But it's just another great way for us to communicate and bond together as a group of colour cavers. So when you are looking at the channel home screen, you will see the tabs that run along the top, and you will see the community tab. So if you just go over and click on that, that will take you into a sort of newsfeed type page where you can see all the goings on. So if there's any minor announcements, for example, the other day my internet was down, it happens a lot, I stay in a rural area. If a video is going to be late up for any reason, I will make sure that I post it on that community tab so that you guys know what is going on. The next thing is we now have a PO box. Yay! And I know that's going to please some of you very much. It's one of the most asked questions that I get on a regular basis, and it was something that I didn't really understand to begin with, but having looked at other channels and the type of things that people do with a PO box, I decided that it was an expenditure that was worthwhile. So all the details of the PO box will be down in the description, and again that will be on every single video from here on in. So if you are feeling the need to send me anything at all, I would particularly request, if you are going to send me things, make it some of your artwork. I have a huge blank space behind the desk in the cave, which you guys see in most videos, and I would like to put up some of your artwork in frames and call it like a gallery wall. I already have some Posca art from someone called Mike who watches the channel. Hi Mike, if you're watching. And I really liked it, and he'd sent me that by email actually, but I asked if I could print it off and put it in a frame, which he was quite happy with. So if that's something that we could get going, then I will have a periodic tour of the gallery wall so that you can see some of your fellow cavers artwork as well. The other thing that the PO box is going to be useful for is I've started to get offers of products to test out on the channel. Now granted, the offers that have come through thus far haven't been things that I feel are relevant to the channel and or things that I wouldn't particularly want to do myself, but that's not to say in the future that that won't be the case. And I wanted to have a secure address where businesses or people that manufacture things could send me parcels to without compromising my privacy and all my personal details, etc. So there is going to be quite a good use for the PO box. If it's not something that's going to sort of gather any pace, I can review it at a later stage, but it is there now for you and you can do what you wish if you wish with that. And that brings me quite nicely on to the next point as well, and this is something that might be a bit of a bone of contention, so I'm going to ask you just to hear out what I have to say before you make any judgments. I have decided to open up a donations page, and it is through the Ko-fi website, and the details I'll put on the screen here in just a minute. And the idea behind the Ko-fi website is that people can make a donation to you if they like your hard work and they like what you create, and it's in the form of buying someone the equivalent of a cup of coffee. I would just like to make it absolutely clear that number one, I am not begging for money. Number two, I do not expect or require anyone at any point to make a donation. That is not why I have set this up. The reason that I have set up this Ko-fi page is that I want to have a more of a community feel with the channel. And one of the things that I've talked about briefly in some of my videos, and I've been thinking a lot about it, is because I get the scroller box every month, which is the UK subscription art box, I'm getting to the stage now where a lot of the supplies I either already have already tried, or it's things that I have a plethora of already, for example coloured pencils. And one of the things that I wanted to do was to be able to give people the opportunity to try out art supplies before they spend any real money on it, or even for people that maybe can't afford to buy art supplies. So what I would like to do is I would like to have a central point where I will list the available art supplies that I have, and I'm going to call it the Colour Cave Stash. So for the time being, that central point is going to be the community tab that I've just talked about, and I am going to put together a list of everything that is on offer, and if you want to grab a hold of any of it, then you can get in touch with me. There's like a gajillion ways you can do that, but I think just having the community tab is going to make that a little bit easier. Eventually I would like to move it on to the website when it's ready to go. And what I want to do there is to ship those out to people who request them. And rather than me saying you have to pay for this, if people decide that they want something from the stash, if they feel it's appropriate, and again it is not a requirement, but they can make a donation to the Ko-fi page, and as a sort of, I don't know, do you want to call it a part payment? Because I recently sent out, I had 2 spare burnisher pencils which I sent out to people, and they asked me what I wanted for them because I had to pay the postage as well. I don't want anything. I'm not doing this for any sort of financial gain, but I do understand that people have a karmic balance and people have morals and may feel it is not right for me to pay out to send them something that I have technically paid for in the first place. So that is the main reason why I wanted to start the Ko-fi donation page. At the moment, I'm not entirely sure how the mechanics of it are going to work, but for the moment I would say that I would restrict this to the UK viewers, just for the simple fact that it's easy in terms of posting things out and the postage costs for me will be relatively low. However, I'm not excluding people from elsewhere in the world. If there is something that you really want and you stay outside of the UK, you can still contact me and we can come to some sort of agreement if it's a supply that you really want sent to you. Just as a general guideline, it's really for people within the UK because it'll be fast and easy and cheap. Moving on from that a little bit, the coffee page will be there all the time and the link will be in the description of every video from now on. If you feel that you want to make a donation anyway, by all means, I would be very grateful and honoured if you did. I will not at any point mention from now on that donation page is there, because it is not up to me to pressure people, harass people, or make people feel obligated in any way that they should be paying for a service that I provide because I enjoy doing it. That is not, to me, that is not morally right. And I know that regardless of saying this and making it absolutely crystal clear, there will be people who it doesn't sit well with, and it may even make them not want to watch my videos anymore. If that is the way that you feel, I completely understand that, and that's okay. Just please let me let you know that that's okay. I get it, but I have seen some pretty disparaging comments, not directed at me in any way, shape or form, but to other YouTubers who have set up similar sorts of ideas, and they're getting accused of begging for cash and all this kind of thing. That is not what this is about. What you do have to remember for those other YouTubers that do have a donations page and ask regularly for donations is that we as creators put a lot of time into our channels, and most people do it because they enjoy doing whatever it is that they create, and that is absolutely the case 100%. But for some other people it is not sustainable, because they are paying out for things and they're getting nothing in return, so they're essentially paying out of their own pocket to keep their channel running. So please think before you comment on other people's channels if they do something like that. If it's something that you're not comfortable with, that's fine, as I said, but there's a lot of people that put as many hours into a YouTube channel as they do to their full-time job, and essentially they're losing money by doing that, and people are benefiting from it either in an entertainment sense or learning skills. So I just it's something I feel quite strongly about, and I just felt that I had to mention it. The other thing with the coffee page that I'm going to do is, if I do have donations come in, what I would like to do is make the balance on that coffee account visible at all times. So every video underneath the link to the coffee page, I will put in pounds sterling how much is actually sitting in that account. Now, my idea behind this is that periodically what we will do is we will have a poll on the channel, and you guys can decide on an art supply or a book or anything at all that's related to the channel, and I will then go and purchase that item and I will do a video on it for you. And I feel that that's a really good way to utilise something like that and put the money back into the channel, and it is completely visible to you guys at all times. So that brings me on neatly once again. This has been great. This has worked out really well. This brings me on to the last point, and again, this is more because I feel I have to tell you rather than having a legal obligation to do it. But once a channel reaches 1,000 subscribers, your channel then becomes monetized, and you guys will have noticed that there are adverts starting to pop up intermittently in all of the videos on the channel. In fact, that's a good point. I'll probably stick one in here because it's a good time to do it. And it's these adverts, annoying as they are, and as a YouTube viewer myself, I do find them irritating sometimes, I'm going to be open. That's what generates an income. I am not here to pay myself a wage. If I was, I would be bankrupt by now, because I have had my channel for over a year and I've put a lot into it and obviously not earned any money. The money that does come in from the channel, it's a pittance. You're never going to make it big unless you're really lucky. Anyway, the money that does come in from the monetization, from the ads, I have a game plan for the channel, and there are certain costs that need to be covered. So the first step in this process is that the monetization eventually, hopefully, will cover the outgoings for the channel. And I just think it's important that you guys know where the money is going. If I ever get into the position where I've got 300,000 subscribers that watch my videos regularly and I am able to pay myself a wage, I'm going to pay myself a wage. I'm not going to lie about that. Of course I am, because I put in hours and hours of work day in, day out for the channel. So it's only right at some point that I might be able to have a little bit of pocket money. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree with that. You're more than welcome to comment on that, and you can leave that down below. But I just feel that some sort of transparency is required when it comes to the fact that this channel is actually generating some sort of cash. And I think today it's something like £25. It's not exactly going to send me away to Barbados for 3 years, but hey, never mind. So the types of things that the money will go towards, first of all, is the Scrollerbox subscription. I have done Scrollerbox unboxings and challenges since the day and hour I started this channel, and it is something that I'm not going to stop doing because it helps me with my art skills. It helps other people learn about tools, techniques, and the types of supplies that are out there, and they are genuinely good fun. So currently I have a subscription to Scrollerbox, and it is paid up until August, but after that point I will have to start paying for it again. So I'm hoping that the channel will generate enough income to cover that cost. The next cost is the PO box, which we've just talked about. It is actually quite an expensive endeavour. And the third main thing is the website that I'm currently working on. There are costs attached to that as well, in terms of having it live and paying for a domain name and things like that. So that's really the first point where I would like to say that the monetization from the channel eventually will cover those very, very basic costs. Now that's obviously not taking into account things like intro music that I've paid someone to do and that kind of thing. So I hope you understand that there is a real financial cost to running a channel and keeping it evolving and keeping up with the times. And there are going to be times where I'm going to have to buy art supplies to be able to put out certain types of videos. So if there was some sort of bank balance for that as well, that would be pretty awesome. But as of now, it's not looking likely that that's going to be anytime soon, but it's not a problem. I started this channel because I wanted to, and I'm never going to turn around and say, oh, woe is me, this is terrible, you know, I'm putting out all this money. If it was causing me any sort of financial troubles, then I would tell you guys and I would simply just stop doing it. And I genuinely hope that that's never the case, because I really enjoy it, and I think some of you guys quite enjoy it too. So that's kind of everything all buttoned up. That's quite a lot of information to take in, so I'm sorry. I don't know. But I'm really, really excited about all these changes, and some of them are quite big and some of them are quite scary, but in a completely good way, and I'm ready to like embrace it with open arms and just see where our little channel goes and where everything's going to take us. I'm really getting to know you guys now. Particularly my subscribers and my serial commenters, and love to you all for that because it's really, really cool. But also as well, there are groups of people that come just to watch the Scrollerbox videos, and I know you guys don't subscribe and watch everything else, but thank you so much for dropping in on a regular basis to watch the Scrollerbox videos too. I really appreciate everyone's input, and I am overwhelmed by the sheer volume of comments. Funny ones, constructive ones, you know, it makes me so happy. And I know I said this not that long ago when we hit 1,000 subscribers, but you guys really do make my life better, and for that I am eternally grateful. I hope that these changes are just as exciting for you, and I hope you're going to continue to enjoy the content that I'm putting out on the channel. So I think that's enough of that. I've been waggling this cup of tea about for nearly 20 minutes now. In my Tim Hortons mug. This is my favourite Tim Hortons mug, by the way. This was brought back from Canada for me by one of my oldest friends, and I got like really attached to it really quickly, and this is my favourite mug to drink tea out of. And if Mr. Jem tries to drink out of it, it puts me in a bad mood. It's like, it's mine, you're not having it. So anyway, other stuff that's happening, I have been putting together a short video on stuff around the farm. It is springtime, we're coming to the end of springtime now, and we have quite a lot of things going on outside, so I've been doing sort of bits and bobs, little bits of footage there. So I am going to put that together in the next maybe 2 weeks, and that'll be a little bonus video for those of you who like the farming stuff. I know some of you have a bit of a fascination with it, so you can look forward to that at some point as well. And that is absolutely everything from me. I think I have done enough talking for another little while. Also, do you like my jumper? I bought this jumper purely based on the colour, and then I realised that the toggles, they're actually offset. They're meant to be offset, but it's kind of bugging me because they just look as if my hood's round the wrong way, but it's supposed to sit like that. Anyway, I thought it was a nice cheery colour, so I was quite pleased. And I've been saying to everyone, do you like my jumper? Simple things, honestly. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching and hanging in with me for 20 minutes. And we'll see you soon back in the cave for another video. Have a good day, everyone.